peeps. I'm Auriel Grace, and sitting next to me is Kendra Lockhart. She's going to be talking to us about our sun, moon, and rising signs tonight. Like, what are they? What the heck are they? How do they influence us? How can we work with them? Hey, Rebecca. And so that's what we're doing tonight. And so, but before I have a couple of announcements. One, Kendra is throwing her link to her book all over Facebook and wasn't it on Instagram? It was on Instagram too. Go over to Kay Lockhart on Facebook and check it out. You can download her book. Mm-hmm. Very fancy. We're going to be seeing pages of the book tonight. Maybe then you can make up your mind, right?
Yeah, then you can do a little try before you buy action and see what my way of speaking and my images look like, so that you can say, oh, you know what, that's kind of comfortable, let's go for it.
Yes, and she actually speaks Astro English, so you understand what she's talking about. Okay, so the next thing is the first 3 books of the Lucy Prophet series is on sale now. Go get it. I put a post. I've been working with IA or AI or whatever the heck it is. And hey, Mom. And there are some images up there. You'll be able to see what Lucy looks like. You'll be able to see what Rad looks like and Susan looks like. And I'm working on more images as we speak. So go check it out. It's on Amazon. This is the Kindle versions. 1, 2, and 3 are on sale. Okay, so I am doing $50 Friday on June 13th. I am. It is Friday the 13th are always great days for me. Mm-hmm. And so it is Friday the 13th. If you want an appointment, please book those appointments, okay? Remember, in July, I do my July special, the Freedom Special, which is $60 for 45 minutes. So if you want appointments in July, please email me to book them because they go like hotcakes. Hey, Mary. So make sure to do that. I'll be sending the newsletter out at the beginning of July. Hi, Edward. So we're going to be talking astrology tonight. And like today, I was just talking to Kendra. I saw this very interesting title.
Oh, they got too jargony for you, didn't they?
I saw this very interesting title on YouTube, and I was like, oh, look at this. I don't know this. And I clicked on it, and it was telling me all kinds of stuff that I had no idea what it was talking about. And so I text Kendra real quick and said, hey, can you explain what this is? And she did, and I understood it.
Yes, because the important thing is what... I learned this a long time in the leadership program. Okay. Don't speak to yourself, speak to the capacity of the listening. So instead of throwing out all these weird terms and confusing you and tap dancing through all this vocabulary, just tell you what you would understand.
Right.
Speak English.
We are going to be speaking Astro English tonight. That's what I've decided to call it. So this is what we're going to be doing. Check it out. I got this fancy thing going on here.
Yay! Look at me. I did a thing. Now let's start with this page. Let's figure out what my intention is for anybody and everybody, because I wrote an everybody book. How to win at your own design. Let's start there. What am I talking about? Once upon a time, I grew up just outside of Chicago with 2 parents who weren't very urban. And their idea of what I should be is an unhappy housewife in the suburbs with a couple of kids as an accountant. And they were pretty convinced that they should program and condition me into that future. But if you look at my chart, it's hyper spiritual. It's very cosmic and it's incredibly artistic. So that was what I picked after learning astrology in my youth. Otherwise, I would have had a life that was kind of unsustainable and sooner or later would have collapsed and left me with a little bit of a life crisis. So I wrote this year. There were several people who inspired it. Auriel is one of them. She is incredibly prolific at her writings. But I thought about, I'm so lucky to have my original design and live a life that is just weightless and easier than most people's. So here we are. I called it Decoding Astrology. It is a simple key for your natal chart with practical worksheets. And we're going to take a look at some of those.
Yes, we are. Are we doing the next slide?
You want to do the next slide? Go ahead and show me the next slide.
All right, let's get this going on. I think this is it, right?
Yes. So this is the topic we are addressing today.
So here's the deal, guys. Screenshot this. It's going to be up for a minute. So for those of you who want to remember this, screenshot it. All right. Or go buy Kendra's book. But there you go. So these are the meanings. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about these 3 areas of a chart. I'm going to go into my 3 because you have enough of a relationship if you're a long-time listener. We love our veterans. If you're new, then we're going to use Auriel's because you've probably gotten a sense, since I'm the astrologer here, that mine makes sense as far as my persona and my tone and my actual design. And then we're going to use Auriel as a newbie and talk about her 3 because I've done her chart. And then I'm going to show you my friend Dana's, and we're going to talk about what she's going to learn about herself as somebody who is just warming up into this conversation. So without further ado, let's take a look. Now, you've probably heard it. You may have even said it. The I'm a this, I'm a that. We all default to who we think we are by our sun sign. But that is not exactly who you are. Let me read this out loud for those of you who aren't screenshotting. The sun. Consider this a potent combination of your method, your map, and your magic in life. Like the true sun in our solar system, its position in your sun sign is your center as well as an essence. Think of this as the type of light that you are and you carry on your path. It shows yourself how you shine as a personal life force, much like a guiding star above. It can reveal a perception about any of your father figures. Okay, so let's talk to a couple of those points now that we've simplified what the sun is. So when I say I'm a Pisces, that's not a personality. When she says she's a Scorpio, Auriel, that's not a personality, that's not an identity. It's a magic and a map. She is going to go through her life as a Scorpio in the underworld through the mystery and bringing it to her people. I happen to have the cosmos. I'm going to take what's very, very high and pull it down for everybody. That's not a personality. That's a method. That's what I do behind the scenes. That's my essence. When I go to work, I don't tell them, hi, I'm your cosmic weaver. And Auriel doesn't go, hi, I'm your underworld tour guide. She doesn't do that. We go somewhere else in the chart for, hey, here's my uniform in Earth Camp. Here's how I am as a human. So let's continue. Let's get to the moon because that's the next ingredient in your little personal pizza here. You have crust, sauce, cheese, right? And they all work together. So let's continue. If we go to the moon, like the actual moon, reflecting light, your moon sign will hold your inner world, your instincts, your intuition, your comfort, and ding ding, your reactions. They're going to filter through this sign and the house placement. This will show your dynamic with cycles because the moon likes to change every 29 days. The sun doesn't, the moon does. This is the way you're going to experience any mother figure in your world. And this will help you with your receptivity, or it's going to show you where you have challenges around, I can take it, I can receive it, I can accept this. Okay, so we've got 2 planets right now. Yes, they're not planets, we know that. We know the moon is a satellite for all you science nerds. We know the sun is a star for all you astronomy geeks. We know. Planets meaning a generic body in astrology. All right, so there's a way we refer to them called the luminaries. They deal with light. You've got your light that you put out, you've got your light that you use in. So far, this should be like, okay, I get this. I see where this is going. I see that I'm not my sun sign. It's a magic and a map. I'm not my moon sign. That's how I function when something shows up in my life. It's kind of like you're driving, there's something on the road. Do I go through it? Do I go around it? Do I crash? What do I do? And then lastly, what is your little, main character? Let's get into your ascendant. Before I explain what the ascendant is with my little write-up, that is where the sun was at the time of your birth. Let's take a look at that. If you were born right, think about having watch the sun actually come up in the day. So that's what, 6 a.m. roughly? That would be very close to your sun sign. As it moves up in the sky, it's moving further and further through a circle of star constellations around our world. So what it may start in, if Auriel was born at 6 a.m. in Scorpio season, she might have a Scorpio rising. As the sun gets higher and higher in the sky, she's going to change signs. And then as it goes through the night and sets, even though we're not seeing the sun, the rest of the world is, what's our night is their day. So it's never setting, but it's going through that entire, like Ferris wheel of different stellar systems, that band of stars that we use, that the sun goes through and shines through, helps us understand where did the snapshot of our life happen. I was born at 11 a.m., so mine is a couple away from the sun. Or close in the morning, I can tell, because her rising away. So hold that, put that over for a second. Yeah. Your ascendant. This is commonly called your mask. People will also call this your rising sign because the sun. So instead, it makes more sense to call this kind of tinted window. The light of your sun is going to shine through and become a certain flavor. The ascendant, which is based on where the sun was at the hour and minute of your birth, is how you appear to life. It's not who you are. It's not your essence. It's your appearance. Kind of like if I had a gift, if I wrapped it in shiny paper, this is the shiny paper, but it's not the gift. So it will shape how life appears to you as well. It can impact your physical look, people's first impression, your skills and talents all get bundled in this aspect. And it can even be a compass for your strategy in your life. Not life itself, your personal life, as Auriel or Kendra or Jane or Mary or Bob, and so on. Those 3 function together because they're nobody else's except yours. Now, you've heard me in many astrology talks on the show. We've talked about Mercury. How do you talk to people? Venus. How do you beautify with people? Mars. How do you clash with people? This is all you, baby. That's me sounding like Auriel. That's me pretending to be you. All you, baby.
It's all you. It's on you.
Okay. So with that said, what we're going to do now is we're going to walk through mine. Then I'm going to show you somebody's chart because we're going to set something up for the future. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Auriel. And for all you listeners and all you replayers, I want you on a scale of 1 to 10 when we talk about Auriel's big three, how much on a scale of 1, not surprised at all that that's hers. So 10, had no idea that that's who she is. That's how she's built. Her ritual design. Okay. So we're gonna have a little game, a little funny games.
Oh, thanks.
Yes. Da 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 da. Do you know her? So we'll have a little party here. Right. Let's take a look at mine. We're going to start with my ascendant because that's how I show up in life first. My essence is not necessarily the thing you see first. If you get a cupcake, it's my frosting. You don't necessarily know what cake I am. You see chocolate first. You don't know what the actual base is. So this is what you see. I am a Gemini rising. I'm a Gemini ascendant. I love communication. I love connecting people. I love being a bridge. I love media. I love writing. I love languaging things. I love listening. I will pay full attention. And then I love getting full attention. So you don't have to rate me. You don't have to do a 1 to 10. This is Auriel's show. But most people, most people think that I am a Gemini. Now, Gemini, because it's an air sign, they don't take up a lot of physical space. I am 5'4". I'm 105 pounds. I wear a size 5 shoe. I don't take up a lot of space.
She doesn't. She's bitty.
I'm little like my cat, like Maddie. She's an extra small too. My essence is much bigger than my actual physicality. As far as my talents and my traits, Gemini rules the hands. I became a jeweler. I was always good at art without even taking classes. The classes just helped me confirm what I already knew about myself. I love writing. I have very interesting penmanship. I have a very interesting style of speaking. All of that is under the Gemini appearance. Now let's go deeper. So if that's the cheese on my pizza, let's go to the sauce. My sauce, I have a Capricorn moon. That's going to rule my instincts and my intuition. Now, Capricorn likes achievement. Capricorn loves structure and systems. The way that I use my intuition is in astrology. It is a science and a system. I don't just organically hear things for you. I'm happiest and I'm at my best when I'm using a tool and a format and a formula to help you understand you. What else does Capricorn do? Capricorn is very, very good at business. So where is my intuition best in my life? I can smell good and bad business a mile away.
Yes.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at sniffing out the right clients, the wrong clients, the right job, the wrong job, when to leave a job, when to take a job, when to stay at a job, when to go nuts at a job, things like that. Because what is a job? Structure and system. Right. It is workability. That is Capricorn's favorite word. Capricorn's other favorite word is done. I love completing things. It's my favorite thing in the world. I am the kryptonite to procrastination. You want to get some stuff done? Call me. I wrote the book.
Call her. She'll get it done.
I get it done. All right. So now we've got cheese and we've got sauce. Let's go to crust. Let's go to the essence of pizza. You can't eat a pizza without a crust, can you? I'm a Pisces. Pisces is my sun sign. The way that I move through life, the way I show up to capital L life, not my life, not life as Kendra, but the world itself. The map that I have is going to be imagination. It's going to be touching heaven and something beyond and going into the invisible realm, losing that boundary, switching places between earth camp and some sort of etheric. That's how I live life. That's how I do life. That's how life helps me. Whenever there's a challenge to my faith, which is a very Pisces thing, is I use that map and that magic to get by and to come back better. So there you go. That's my big three, which is what we're talking about. So now we're going to move on to showing you, all right, well, that's cool. Now I'm familiar. I understand a few things. Let's take a look at how it occurs on a natal chart. Not everyone who's watching has even seen what a natal chart looks like. So let's see if I can do this in frame. I'm doing it. There we go.
Hold on. Let me get you.
We're going back to big screen. Okay.
Going back to big screen. Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? Everyone would be. So here we are. This is what a natal chart looks like. All right. This is kind of cool. And speaking of pizza, it looks like one, and it's got slices on it. Those are the 12 areas of your life. Now here's the fun part. I'm going to put my finger on 2 places, and I'm going to tap them. So what I'm talking about when I say ascendant, that is a location on your chart. Right here is where the chart begins getting drawn based on where the sun is at your time of birth. Now it can be way up in the sky, but we move the circle so that it starts right here, and this begins your wraparound in a circle through the map. The opposite, see that highlighted line? The opposite of your ascendant is over here, your descendant. This is all about you. This is how you function with others. Conversation for a different day.
Okay.
But you know, why are you drawing on this person's chart? What's with these 3, 6, 9, and 12 marks? The important one today is the 9 o'clock, your ascendant. Tonight I've had a little sneak at what I do behind the scenes with my clients. And now, drum roll. Let's talk about Auriel. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to walk cheese, sauce, crust for her big 3. Auriel has graced me with her information. So we know that her rising is Sagittarius.
Yes.
Now, fun about Sagittarius is it is exactly across 180 degrees. It's my total opposite on a spectrum of Gemini. So while I'm busy doing the knowledge thing, she's up here doing the adventure thing. Sagittarius loves going and running around and bringing it back into wisdom and experience, whereas I might be a little more of a book nerd. Sagittarius loves dropping itself in unfamiliar zones and making it work because they are charmed with things being in their favor when they explore. Since I've known her, she has lived in Illinois, Colorado, Hawaii, Florida, and North Carolina. That pretty much, that's what the kids call that tracks. So that's very Auriel. There's an interest in the higher learning. That doesn't necessarily mean going off to college. It means what are the upper thinkings and philosophies and arts. She's absolutely impeccably brilliant at energy medicine. If you've never had a session of healing with her, she has cleared out my anxiety, my insomnia, some PTSD from an accident. So this is somebody who speaks an upper language. So the way that Auriel occurs to the world, her appearance, her little main character and identity is Sagittarius. Okay, so let's move on to the sauce. Let's talk about her moon sign. And this is where she gets her spice. Her moon is in Aries. Now, we've got her instinct, her emotions, her intuition, and her reactions in the first sign of the zodiac, which is childlike, leaping before looking, leading, and courageous. This is why she may not have a lot of tolerance for people repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again. This is why you hear her little phrases, you know, that's on you. Put on your lipstick and your heels and get out of there. You know, these are things that these are things a kid would say because kid logic is real. They don't think about this heaviness of adult life. They are still buoyant and youthful, and they're just gonna lay it out like the kid in the Emperor's New Clothes is, you're naked. It's not real. So when she gives you advice and when she feels her feelings and emotions and when she has to respond to what's activating her essences in that department, you're going to get Aries. Now, Aries can be extremely brave. This is somebody who I would trust to pull me out of the crap hole or the ditch. Is they're not going to over strategize and take a survey on everyone else's 2 cents on how I'm not doing well and suffering. She's going to go, ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, go! She's not going to wait for 3. She'll get you out of the danger zone now, Buster.
People are going to be afraid of me now.
Well, they're going to love you. They're going to go, thank God, the war is over.
The war is over, right? Yep.
I call her to push my healing timeline faster because I do not like suffering. I'm not here to buffer it. I don't want to take an Advil and then worry about my knee tomorrow. I want it done. So that's why she's on my speed dial list of healers when something is causing me too much trauma or drama or agony. That's one of her superpowers. And every moon has a superpower. You call me if you got business issues. You call her if you're stuck. Don't try her. Don't test her. She's not gonna be like, okay, I'll be stuck with you. Nope. She'll leave you where she found you if that's not working out. Good boundaries. All right, and now the crust of Auriel. She has a Scorpio sun. How is she going to move through this world and this life as an essence for herself? You'll get a little teeny piece of it if you unwrap the gift, but it doesn't have to be for you. It can be for her. So the way that Scorpio is a map and magic for Auriel is there's going to be power and passion and mystery and depth and persistence. This is somebody who can follow through. They have the vitality to close the deal and finish the marathon. With this Pluto energy, she is going to have a keen perceptiveness. It is no accident that her way through life is through a psychic call and response with the universe. So there you go. So on a scale from 1 to 10, you can drop it in the comments. You can have some fun because Geminis love fun and games, and this is my world. Here's my little yes mug. Next contestant, come on down. So on a scale from 1 to 10, with that stack, with that big 3 for Auriel, 1%, not surprised. That's totally how I think Auriel is in my experience. Or 10, like, oh, I had no idea. That's so interesting. She's so unique and mysterious and enigmatic.
I don't think I'm that mysterious.
Sag rising is pretty bold, so you're pretty transparent. But you know, when you tell me some of the things you've done, I'm always surprised.
Well,
and you don't know.
What's that?
If you don't know some of her little secret. So we've got the Sagittarius adventure.
You're breaking up.
Do you know that she went and cleaned out a cemetery and then did a tour?
I did. I cleaned out a cemetery.
That to me is such a perfect combo of your rising sign, but your sun sign. It's like, I'm going to go and unmystery this. Like, death is our biggest mystery in our life.
It is.
And who better to show how to do it than somebody who says, watch me have an adventure, and here's my essence. I bet you were right at home with that.
Well, I don't know which cemetery you're talking about, but I've cleared several cemeteries, but I did have help. I mean, well, not with the one here in North Carolina, but yeah, the ones in the Four Corners area, I always had help with those.
I'm talking about North Carolina, the when you turned it into, you made it. She made it a thing. You could go walk the city's historical cemetery, but Auriel cleaned it up first, and then went to whatever, where it's like the Chamber of Commerce or the City Hall or the library or whatever. Learned a little bit about it, like a Sag rising, I need higher information. I need higher education. And now, ta-da, let's walk through this mystery of life. Let me tell you all about it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a video here about it. There's a video here on YouTube about the cemetery. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So, but that's why I wanted to do this show tonight. Not just so that Kendra could explain our sun, moon, and rising signs, but so you could understand your sun, moon, and rising signs better, and how you can utilize that or understand it within yourself, so you understand how you interact or react and how you view yourself, because it's always really good to know who you are and how you can accomplish things. Because like you said, a lot of times I'll have a plan. I'm actually a pretty good strategist, but sometimes I'm just like, okay, let's go do it without thinking about it. And it always comes out okay. I'm still alive. I'm still sitting here. So I'm still walking on the ground, on the earth plane most of the time. So but it's good for you to understand it, and also the way that Kendra explains it too, you can understand it better, because I know, just like this morning when I was watching this astrological thing about, what was it about? It was something
conjunctions and the trines going on right now.
Yeah, the conjunctions and the trines going on right now. And this video took up 45 minutes. Kendra was able to explain it to me on a voice thing in like 60 seconds. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what's going on. So, because some astrologers or sometimes spiritual people will, they have their own language, or they have their own way of explaining things. And sometimes, listening, when I listen to them, I'm like, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Because they're using words and they're using phrases that really don't make sense, but they're cool. They're cool terminology. Not like me when I tell you, like, you got to make your own peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Everybody that's listening right now has heard me say that. And that means you do you. You go do it yourself. You created it. You do it. And so, instead they're using spiritual terminology that is, I don't know what it's like, woke or something. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't even really understand woke either. But we need to be, as we are working in the world, and as we are metaphysicians or spiritualists or whatever we are, we need to speak plainly so that everyone can understand what.
You're not bringing anybody up. You're not helping anybody get forward if you're going to use words that make you sound really sharp, but nobody gets it. Because think about the people that are drawn to me and Auriel, and think about the people that would follow that. You'd either have to be like, oh, yes, we've all been to the society of big words. We all know. Or you're like, let me read you one of my friends' comments who is metaphysical. This is Cheryl up in Vancouver, Canada. Your book is awesome, especially at a time when people gatekeep knowledge that is better shared openly. This has so much power to empower people. This is so much potential to empower people. Proud of you. We're not here to make it seem mysterious so that you become dependent on us. We are leaving you better than we found you. We want your power to come back to you. So that you're a happier person in Earth Camp. So Earth happier. That's it. I mean, it's the agenda between me and Auriel is that simple. Get well and go tell somebody else. And then you get like a chain letter.
Yeah. So, and if any of you are curious about because like Edward here, he says he's a Sun, Taurus, Moon, Capricorn, Virgo rising.
Yay, my Capricorn moon buddy.
Yeah, that's Taurus is, oh yeah, that's a home person. That's somebody who loves the home.
So here is what I would say to the Capricorn moon is your best use of your emotional moon placement is going to be the cool-headed guy. You'll help people through their crisis. You've got you're chill emotionally. Who you're not good for is somebody who needs warmth and needs to be related to in that moment. When babies are crying around me, I want to hold them after they've like wiped their boogers and settle down a little bit. I don't go to those crisis spaces because I'm busy being chill. So that's another thing that the big three can help you with is who are you going to harmonize with? Who are you going to activate and possibly inspire or trigger? And who are you just going to oppose? Who is not your jam? Just like, nope. Like I am not good with people who are super crying and feely. Mm-hmm. If everything is a wave of that I'm not your best choice. Call somebody else, plan or do business or see a big picture, or you want to have some fun and games with life. Right here. But the Virgo ascendant is interesting. That's somebody who may appear to life as detail-oriented, analytical, health-focused. Like there's a little magic in every single placement. There's nobody's sign. I want to say this loud for the cheap seats. There's no bad combination. Can bad things happen to you in life where you don't use what you got? Sure. But there's no recipe where you're like, right. I got a friend now who has 6 planets in one house. And, her daughter said, well, now you're scary, Mom. That's not true. That's just an extremely focused area of life. There's no bad recipe. And you can always reach out to me if you want to have a reading, if you want to have some fun and get to know yourself well. That's the name of my company. And also, the same person who gave me their printout. I thought that was so helpful and cute. Okay, I brought you pages. So Dana brought me her page. So I started drawing on it. You can see my little notes where I'm making planets and I'm starting to see where there's action going on, where there's a little bit of, overlap, or this area of her life is resting right now. But she also went crazy town and gave me her world map where your chart goes on top of it. That's astrocartography. We've discussed that before on Auriel's beautiful show called You Mean There's a Branch of Astrology that can tell me where in the world I might do better as far as career or love or vacationing and resting, or I might get out of my depression, but I also might have an accident. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I know astrocartography. Yeah. And astrocartography is where you can see where you can do different things and really be able to do those things. The energy there is for you and it assists you and it expands you. So astrocartography is really a cool thing. And I've had some of my clients have done that and moved to different places and really just flourished.
Yes. I'm in Chicago. My chart shows that Chicago is right on my Jupiter line. That is the planet of luck and fortune. I have had an amazing career. Most of my planets in my chart are in my 10th house. I've just had an insane career as an artist here. That wouldn't have happened in New York or California. But most of you know that I went out to New York last year, and New York is on my sun line. I was going to get seen as my essence, and that happened. I showed up. I made great friends who go, I get you. Not like the way you're, looking, but I get you, the magic within you. So that's a fun one. That's a mini reading. It's not a big deal. It's not super long, and it's really easy to understand. So These are ways that you can make your life easier. You can close that gap between yourself and everything you've been told to be, and your soul, everything you're designed to be. So that is the point of today's session and talk with Auriel, with you, with everyone.
Yeah, and so remember too, astrology is nature. It's natural. It is us being able to understand the stars, the planets, the moons, and how they move and how they affect us. So it is a natural thing. And I want everybody to understand that too. Astrology has been people have been doing astrology for ever.
3,000.
Yeah, 3,000 years. And so I want you to understand that this is an ancient practice and people have taken their whole life to understand it. And so when you get nervous about getting an astrology reading, just like when sometimes people, when I'm at events and I say, and they read my business card and it says psychic and author, they go, "You're a psychic." And some people have even told me, "Well, if you're a psychic, you're going to hell." And it's like, I just say, "Okay, bye."
But that's my soul design. So who designed me?
Nobody is going to hell for practicing divinity or divine arts or understanding ancient wisdom.
Let's talk about that for 1 second, because I'm sure there are people out there that go, okay, but, and I want to speak to the but part of it. Let's go into Bible intelligence. Let's do a little theology discovery. The reason why the Old Testament said, do not use this to predict your future, is because a destiny was supposed to come true. Astrology can help you with your destiny. Do not try and figure out 10 steps ahead when God, the universe, the cosmos, whatever you want to call it, your higher self, is trying to get you from A to B. It was a warning to not get lost in the wrong direction, the false light, and worrying about tomorrow instead of being in today.
Right.
And I've asked several pastors and reverends about this. Like, what does that actually mean in the language it was actually written in? And it was simply a please don't, not a you're going to hell if you do.
So make sure that you understand that it is wisdom. It is really cool wisdom that you can do. And like my mom just said, be present and look to your future. Stay in the present moment. You don't want to miss anything in your life because our lives are precious.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to put up this last thing.
Let's do the last slide.
There it is.
Well, let's read this one together, everybody, so you can hear it in my voice and you can see it with your eyes or not. When you don't follow your nature, there is a hole in the universe where you were supposed to be. I wouldn't be doing the show if I had followed the programming of move to the suburbs, be an accountant, get married, and have a family. I couldn't help so many people the way I want to, the way I was built to. Maybe I could do your taxes, but I sure as hell couldn't help you get your power back.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
So, for those of you that have joined us tonight, thank you. Next week, we're talking about inner guidance. And I got some things to say about that. So it'll be very fun for us. Okay. All right. So, everyone, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful week. And remember, keep your heart open and align with the energy of love. We'll see you next time. Bye.